The Old Man Logan universe is a universe known to be completely dark and desolate, where everything goes wrong pretty much all the time. One of the most notable things to go insanely wrong is Wolverine being manipulated to kill each and every one of the X-Men members without even knowing it. And this didn't just happen to the X-Men. All over the world, villains united together to kill the heroes all in one fell swoop. And it left maybe only a handful of heroes left to actually do anything about it. But because there were so few and far between, they chose to do nothing. And one of the heroes that was left alive during this chaos was Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye always feared that he was just some useless guy with a bow and arrow. Compared to fighting with super soldiers, gods, men in iron armor that can fly around shooting bolts out of their hands, he kinda deemed himself insignificant unless he trained all the time. And it wasn't until the final battle between the heroes and villains that his worst fear came true. As we begin the story on the day the heroes fell to the villains, Hawkeye isn't really taking this upcoming fight too seriously, because he has complete faith in his team of Avengers behind him and all the heroes that'll join the fight as well. But Black Widow says that she's unsure if any other hero is still out there, given that she can't reach the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and other Avengers, until Black Widow suddenly loses control of the Quinjet, as it explodes into a ball of fire because of Magneto, sending the heroes plummeting to the ground below. War Machine tries to stop Magneto, but Magneto overloads his arc reactor, melting Rhodey within the War Machine suit. After War Machine's death, the Avengers in this moment realize what they're in for, so they get their bearings, and assemble for the final fight against good and evil for War Machine. As Magneto faces off against Scarlet Witch, he tries to make her change sides for the sake of mutant kind, but she refuses to join him until her dying breath. In that response, Magneto sheds a tear knowing what has to be done, and stabs his own daughter with several metal spikes. Quicksilver, in the middle of the battle, distraught, stops in his tracks in the middle of fighting Sandman, screaming her name, until Sandman crushes Quicksilver's legs. Off on the other side of battle, Absorbing Man beats on Thor with his wrecking ball, sending Thor crashing through several buildings, before Absorbing Man catches up with his unrelenting might, punching a dazed Thor left and right, giving him no chance to fight back. Hawkeye, in the middle of this, tries to shoot Absorbing Man with his arrows, but it's ineffective, as Hawkeye would have to watch Absorbing Man beat on Thor till his head was nothing but a bloody paste. Black Widow tries to convince Hawkeye to turn back, given that their big guns are already dead, but Hawkeye refuses to listen, as Hawkeye commands his team to press on and defeat the villains. However, in the middle of charging, some of the heroes decide to betray one another to live another day, so Hawkeye is forced to watch as his friends and colleagues die in front of him, like Falcon getting shot mid-flight, Tigra getting her head sliced off by the ebony blade, the Black Knight getting stabbed by his own sword through the heart, and Quicksilver getting stomped on. Hawkeye, in the middle of all of this chaos, can't believe his eyes as Black Widow tries to convince him to fall back and warn other heroes, and that there still could be a chance to save the world. But in the middle of her yelling, she's stabbed in the back by Citizen V, saying that there is no one else left alive, and that the age of heroes is over. As Hawkeye holds a dying Black Widow in his arms, he demands to know why Citizen V would betray them. But it's not really Citizen V under the mask, but the likes of Baron Zemo in disguise, acting as a double agent for weeks. Hawkeye, holding Black Widow, tells her that he's always loved her more than anything in the world, but before she can say anything back, she dies in his arms. After her death, Baron Zemo goes on to say that after embarrassing him once before, he wanted to take it upon himself to orchestrate this entire battle so he could break Hawkeye himself. Magneto interjects by saying that he didn't kill his children for Zemo's petty vendettas, but Zemo exclaims that the villains would not have this victory if not for him acting as a double agent, hacking their computers, finding a way to defeat Thor, along with exploiting each of the heroes' weaknesses. Because of Baron Zemo, the villains have claimed victory on this day. Hawkeye then begs Zemo to just kill him already, but all Zemo says back is, "Kill you? Now why on earth would I do that? We killed off all the real heroes." The villains leave Hawkeye broken and utterly defeated to face the reality that his deepest and darkest fear came true, ending the story. I hope y'all like this story, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.